We've mentioned Lynn Haven a lot on this channel, and it's both a place and a time frame for us, but also a band.
Correct. It was our band before SDH, if you will, featuring me and him, our brother Kyle, and my childhood best friend Fowler Holding. I'll put a picture of him here. Oof.
What about Kyle?
Probably not. You know, for Kayla, there you go.
Handsome.
We formed. I mean, obviously we grew up playing together since we were like quite young. And Fowler, I met him when I was 10, and we both had a common interest in music, and we started playing together as well.
Fast forward to what, 2012?
2012, you graduated high school and went to
Lift!
You got back from basic and had some cash money from your senior
Piggy bank.
Piggy bank, yeah.
So I bought a bass.
Bought a killer bass. And I don't really I know the story is you wrote that Mr. Frog riff pretty much that week you got back. Like, was there, now I'm asking you for real, like, was there a, like, hey, let's be in a band, let's write music? Like, what was the impetus? Is that the word?
I would say, yes, that is the word. And I would say it's the fandom of Kings of Leon, their their behind-the-scenes stuff that showed them writing. And I guarantee you that sparked us. Am I off on the timeline?
No, I think you're dead on.
And then I had that little riff, so we kind of jokingly wrote Mr. Frog, the first version, mid-bay, and then you had, like, your own personal stuff you've written, and that's where we got the third song.
That's true. Okay, yeah.
So those were our three starters.
And really quick, while you were gone that summer, me and Fowler had written songs. We got together like, hey, let's actually try to write songs.
Gotcha.
That's what that was.
Okay.
And so yeah, you get back and we're primed and ready to write. Obviously, you had
inspiration.
Sure.
Pain.
And Kyle was just
Suffering.
there.
Just kidding.
I hate that he's not here. There's cousin Carly. I hate that he's not here to help us, but he was writing songs. Let's just say that. I could be wrong on the timeline, but he wrote so many songs.
He was a machine at that point, yeah.
He was the primary songwriter of Lynn Haven, I'd say.
100%.
The timeline of that, I don't know. But let's just say it was that summer as well, or leading up to that. So
we record our first attempt at recording. Eric Gwynn, really, really nice guy. And that's kind of where we had our first experience recording together. We did those 3 songs.
Yeah, so much fun.
I
thought we had made it. In hindsight, so like, we listened to it recently, and I was like, like, we were so young and
not quality. E.g., you did great.
Yeah,
performance, not well.
Yeah,
not
to this
good.
Day. We say this is for you, Eric, often. But
very nice socks.
So it was a great experience for sure. Recording that.
Yeah, I think so.
Because the key point of also why I want to do this is the band name. Because I'd say from when we formed, let's say in August of 12, probably through the next year, we didn't have a name.
Right.
We couldn't agree. That's a classic story. We couldn't agree.
We're too goofy.
Yeah.
To actually sit down and think of them.
Two genuine sit-down attempts.
Yeah, 2 of the band name examples we came up with and then laughed like little girls for an hour was Michael Jordan's flip-flop. We were very specific about people's items because the next one was Mel Gibson's egg.
My God. What was like a true, before, because those 2 were said that night we came up with Lynn Haven. What was something we were genuinely going to go with? Was there anything that was a placeholder?
Chemical Lights.
Are you kidding me? I've never heard that before in my life.
Kirkland, that was like a week.
That's on the edge of my brain.
And it was because in the field we used Chem Lights and we just said it all the time.
Cool. So Chemical Lights.
And I think this is off.
No, it's on.
What a dumb name.
I mean, honestly, it kind of represents what we were going for at that time.
Sure.
Anyways, that's interesting. So that same night we said, tonight we're going to pick a band name. Those 2 dumb ones were a part of that. And did we spend hours that night for real? We probably went to Taco Bell and kept arguing.
Parents got involved.
Yeah.
Girlfriends got involved at the time.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kayla finally, she was in the room that night, and she finally said, Lynn Haven. And it was one of those, it wasn't immediately like, yes, but we're like, oh, that's kind of cool, because our second home growing up is Lynn Haven, Florida.
Yeah.
Our family friends are down there. They're closer than most of our family, I swear.
Yeah, our granddad was friends with the patriarch of that family. All of our lives, people go to the beach here. We would go to Lynn Haven.
Yeah.
That was our vacation spot.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So we would take our friends down there all the time with us, and we played music down there all the time because of Trey. And so Fowler went down there, and so there was that connection.
Yep.
Like, bigger than us, our family being there. Fowler also liked going down there with us to play music specifically. And so, yeah, it just clicked. I think that night we said, yeah, that works.
It's just if you don't know even that if you don't even know that's a town, that's just a cool name.
It's a cool name.
It's like, is it a name? Is it a city in Florida? I don't know. Is it ethereal?
So that's the origin story of the band name. Thank you, Kayla Harper. So we finally had the band name, let's say summer of 13. We go to EG's to record those 3 songs, which, by the way, I don't think they'll be. No, Mid-Bay was one of those that's been released.
Yep.
After that, we have what we called Friday Night Music Night, FNMN.
Dude, yeah.
And that's really where we wrote our songs.
That's what 2014 consisted of. That makes more sense now.
Exactly.
I was like, we did not play for a year, but that's what it was.
We played all the time and wrote, I'd say, 20 songs, give or take,
Again, Kyle was he'd kind of get it started, and obviously we would jam to it.
Exactly.
And everybody kind of had a piece of it. It was,
for sure.
Golly, it was fun.
Good times.
Yeah.
And so, we do that for, a full year, maybe a year and a half. And maybe midway through 15, me and Fowler graduated high school, and we said, we need to record these for real to put them out to the public so that we can become the most famous band of all time. And we did. So we set up that recording trip to go to our Lynn Haven friends' property and record upwards of 15 songs. That's just almost everything we had.
In one weekend.
And honestly, in like a probably 20-hour span. And that experience will also be shared with you next month.
That's probably the best weekend of my life.
Yeah, it was incredible. Good times.
Yeah, and we brought Jacob Kirkland down there with us to record us.
He was our recording guru friend.
Yeah.
Who helped. I mean, we didn't do it without him.
So fun.
He was the 5th member for sure. That was October 2015. We said we recorded the music. We should attempt to play live somewhere. Obviously, we're based in Montgomery. There's not a ton of great original music venues, not venues where people want to hear original music.
Right.
And we definitely weren't going to be a bar band, so the options were few and far between because we were also not even 21. We couldn't go places.
We were limited for sure.
But luckily, Kyle submitted us real last minute into the city Battle of the Bands to be played at the riverfront downtown, and we got selected, and that was our first show. And it was so fun.
And it's funny that we were prepping for months. Like, yo, we're going to need so much prep for our first show, whenever that is. And, what did we have, a day's notice that we got in?
Yeah,
and we're like, it's tomorrow?
Maybe, yeah, exactly. So we played, 4 or 5 of our own.
That's
we
fun.
killed it. And who won? The cover bands, of course. What are you going to do? A few months later, we play our second show that my buddy Chris Nom set up at Starbucks. And then we disbanded.
Literally. Disbanded.
Unintentionally. It's a classic story. They got married, had kids. Fowler was going to school way far away, and it just wasn't holding up.
Yep.
So we never disbanded. We just quit playing.
Because we just, we're all going different directions, new jobs.
There was never guys, the band's over.
Yeah. There probably should have been. It'd make for a better story right now.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, so after that disbandment, however you say that, happens, we start getting more into, I say we, you specifically, get more into home recording. The technology's catching up. We start doing some projects with our dad who does music.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads us into a whole other chapter, which can be covered later. But that, obviously, got us back into doing music as a hobby more systematically.
And
I
while
guess
playing with Dad, that's when I was writing
your
all
stuff.
the time.
Yeah.
And especially, kind of in the middle of Lynn Haven, honestly, writing more like singer-songwriter stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So 2015 through 2020 is when we kind of quit playing.
Yep.
I had a stockpile of songs,
Mm-hmm.
and I obviously put that out. One of the songs we recorded at the barn, we called SDH. It had no name.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
That's all it was.
And it ended up being
It was
dun, dun, dun,
literally
dun,
just
dun.
a acronym, right?
A joke acronym. Stop doing heroin.
So that was the joke, and then we said that's the acronym.
Yeah.
And so that was a placeholder for so many things. In the latter days before disbandment, like my senior year, really, I always made fun, fake album art cover.
Yep.
In like computer class, I would
Gotcha.
make album
Okay.
covers all the time, and on one of them, it was like the band Lynn Haven, and the album was called Sonic Discovery Hour.
Yeah. Which harkens back to our love of. We know everything wasn't perfect back then, but like that vintage show feeling.
Yeah, 50s sci-fi is just the coolest looking thing ever.
The Sonic Discovery Hour.
Akin to the Twilight Zone, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was our cousin Joseph starting his Ford F-150.
It's a two-tone, nice F-150.
And so when through playing with Dad, I kept stockpiling that music. And when I went out to put it, the Sonic Discovery Hour name was still just in the back of the mind, and that was cool enough to be the name of the project,
Mm-hmm.
I'll call it. Because I've said this before, it's not just me. It was at the time because that's all I had, but it's you, it's
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, it's Fowler, it's Dad, it's Cousin Carly.
It's anybody who has import of some kind.
Little post-production note here. While we're trying to say yes, anybody can be in this project, I failed to mention amongst the most important parts of this project, and that's my brother Zach Stewart. He's been on, I think, every release so far. He is invaluable to me. Brother Zach, are you hearing me? I hate I didn't mention you here. I am very poor at making these videos, obviously, so thank you.
Yeah.
And because
Input.
Lynn Haven music never was put out, that was just the easiest well to pull from.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why there was those songs put in, because we love these songs.
Yeah.
And so this is really the final piece of that puzzle. This is the last of that well, so to speak.
Yeah.
Which is quite sad, really.
It is.
But yeah, putting them out because we love them, and they need a proper send-off.